Hi traders, this is Forex Nelson and I'm back today with another 8 trades that I've taken. Today's date is April the 6th and I am using my new Pro Scalper system. I love it and it produces a lot of successful trades as long as you follow the rules that I teach within the training videos. Now, I've taken most of these trades just before 7 a.m. and some were a little bit later, all the way up to about 8:30, as you can see the time here. But I closed them all out roughly the same time, around 8:40, as you can see here. And I closed it out the main reason as I was basically happy with the pip total and of course money total. So let's move on to these trades. Most of the trades, well, not all of them or most of them, some were a great way to trade and some were I traded the pullback. These are all different ways that you can trade using the Pro Scalper. Now let's go through each and every one. First one was a pound New Zealand. Let's see where I got in at. Now this particular trade, the way I did it was how I trade like around the goal line. I teach exactly how to trade this way. So it wasn't a Pro Scalper trade on the 50 minutes, but what I ended up doing was I dropped it down to the 5 minutes, which will give a signal a little bit quicker. And we'll just drag and drop this up so you can see the little cursors again. Now, I got the signal back here to sell, everything screaming to sell, so that's exactly what I did. Got in at this cursor, now it went against me 4 pips. And as I said, I closed out all the trades about the same time as I was happy with the totals. Now this produced 10 pips. And 10 pips on the pound New Zealand paid $703. Now I would not label any of these trades as far as true scalping, because true scalping is only 2 to 10 pips. So I guess this first one you could rank it as a scalper, but the rest of them, if I remember, they are all more than 10 pips, but we will see as I go through each and every pair here. So let's move on to the pound Swiss and see what happened on this trade. First off, I see right away automatically is that it qualifies for a great way to trade, as I teach within the training videos. That's using all the indicators on the top and the bottom. So I took this trade at this cursor. Stop at that point in time was roughly 20 pips. And I closed it out, as I said, just being happy. Looks like another one with 10 pips. And 10 pips on the pound Swiss paid $1,069. Now before I move on to the next trade, I would like to inform you that all trading systems will work less than 50% of the time. And of course, that obviously includes all of my trigger systems. Now, it did take me 8 years and over 700 trading systems to learn that. To get that up to 80 to 90% success rate, you will have to learn how to trade the flow of the market, which is what I teach. You will also have to learn trade management and money management. I have made trading the market simple and easy to do for all 3 sessions, including many ways to trade the markets. To be successful in trading, all you need is a lot of chart time and a lot of education. I provide the education. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. This will encourage me to do more of these videos. If you leave your name and email address, I'll put you on my email list for free weekly trading tips. Okay, keep that in mind and let's move on to the Euro New Zealand. Let's see where I got in at this trade. and then we can go from there. Now this trade here, the way I traded it is exactly the way I teach in how to trade pullbacks, like pullbacks to or around the goal line. So I took this trade right here at this cursor, and I ended up closing it out on this a blue candle. It looks like with 21 pips, and 21 pips on the Euro New Zealand, paid $1,407. So remember, this trade is, as I teach, how to trade pullbacks. Moving on to the next pair, Euro CAD. And I also wanted to point out, you've got to do more than one trade in a session. There's nothing worse than taking a trade and you're stuck in a range bound. You're up 7 pips, down 12 pips, going back and forth. That is why I do always at minimum 3 to 10 trades. Now if the 3 trades I take, they look like fantastic trades, then that's good enough. But as you can see, some of these were only producing around 10 pips. The rest definitely were doing much better. So on this EuroCAD, let's see where I got in at. Right away, it's a perfect example of a great way to trade. When I see this, along with the scalper, it's telling me way back here, even, let's see, from way back here to buy. And that's what I love about the scalper. You can get in the trade, even if you got in a trade around here. This run was 44 pips. Like, it's excellent scalping system. So I got in here. This cursor stop was only roughly 10 pips, and I closed it out, as I said earlier, as I was happy, but I was also looking at it and it was hitting the ADR here. Ended up closing it out, looks like with also 21 pips, and those 21 pips paid $1,593. Moving right along, let's check out the pound Aussie. Now these pound pairs, I was taking these trades based on pound weakness. I call this a bus driver. Anything that is labeled 20 or less, that is a bus driver, or anything such as this yen rate at this point in time, anything 80% or more, I call that a bus driver. And just a very good tip for you is if you have one bus driver, you can easily get 30 to 70 pips. That is why there's only 62 pips in here. Actually, it went a little bit more. Let's bring in all the data. 73 pips. But of course, if you have 2 bus drivers, you can easily get somewhere, and I don't know exactly, but you can get up to 150 pips, like 50 pips minimum, because the market is very random and it could change at any given moment, but generally 50 to 150 pips, especially on this pound yen, which I did trade, and it's the one that produced the most pips, and well, I don't know about the most pips, but the most money for sure. And thinking about it, I wish more than likely I'm still in the trade, because this would have been a lot more than what it's showing. So on this pound Aussie, let's see where I got in at. Now this does qualify when I pull the trigger actually from back here. A great way to trade. I love trading any of my trigger systems, as I teach within the videos, of a great way to trade. Easiest, you can learn it like in a few days, and you're off to the races making pips. Got in at this cursor, and I closed it out at here with looks like 22 pips, and 22 pips on the pound Aussie trade paid $1,681. moving on to the pound dollar. Remember, all the pound pairs were based on when I took the trade, this dollar was extremely weak. So I knew I could grab a few pips, but I had to be very careful because of pound weakness. So let's drag and drop this up. As I said, due to the USD also being extremely weak, it did shoot up. It was negative at this point over here, but eventually it did do a pullback relatively close to the goal line. And this one here, when I took the trade, I was actually thinking about the pullback. Got in at this cursor, closed it out here. Looks like at the right time, obviously, with 20 pips. And 20 pips on the pound dollar paid $1,900. Now in real time, this USD was right at the bottom. So I knew that if anything, I would get a slight pullback before it would continue to go down, which is what it's doing. Well, from this section, it did go down. So moving on to the Euro Aussie. And let's drag and drop and see where I got in at. Again, this one here was a pullback. And as you can see, like magic, came back and touched the goal line right there. Took the trade. It didn't go against me at all, period. And I love trading this way when it doesn't go against you. And I decided to close out the trade at this point. Looks like with 27 pips. And 27 pips on the Euro Aussie paid $2,062. Now moving on to the pound yen. As I mentioned earlier, let's make sure we bring in the data properly, like the blue box here. Now this one here, remember I mentioned earlier, pound was less than 20 and it was actually more than 80. And as I said, you'll get 50 to 150 pips. This is 106 pips. Wish I stayed in a little bit longer. By the way, I do teach how to stay in the trade for more pips. But actually, my goal every day is around 100 pips. And as you can see right here, there's a bunch more pips I could have made. But I was happy with this pip total, which was 24. Could have got like 58. But as I said, I closed it out with 24 pips, being happy. And 24 pips on the pound yen paid $2,183. Now remember, I teach how to stay in to grab those bonus pips, as there is absolutely no blue down here at the bottom, and I could still be in the trade, but I had to wrap up the videos. I have to do this video for this YouTube, and then I've got to do some errands, so I'm running short of time. So another great day of trading, and this is one of the main reasons I got into trading more than 16 years ago, is I got tired of working 5 days a week to have 2 days off. I'd like to work 1 or 2 days a week and take 5 or 6 days off. So as you can clearly see, I could take the rest of the week off, and I did take yesterday off. So this is the main reason. As we get older, we want to make a lot more money and work a lot less. And that was my goal ever since I was a teenager. Work hard, and as you get older, you work smarter. Now there is a learning curve. You're not going to learn this in 30 or 60 days, but once you learn this, you're going to be a very happy trader. So today's total, and what I'm usually aiming for, is 100 pips. Today I got more than 100 pips. I ended up with 155 pips, and those 155 pips paid $12,600. And as I said, I don't know if I'm going to trade. If I'm at home and not doing much of anything, then I'll just go and grab a few more pips. There's nothing wrong with making money if there's nothing else more interesting to do. And just in case I didn't mention it, this is a very good example from right at this point, qualifies for a great way to trade. As you can see, very high success rate. I highly recommend for you to get the Pro Scalper if your system is not producing these kind of results on a daily basis. Now to do so, all you got to do is look right below the video. You'll get some information, contact and whatnot. Pro Scalper system, I do charge $250 for it. I teach how to trade the flow of the market. If you don't learn this, you will fail. And that is why 95% of the traders are failing. They buy system after system like I did without actually learning how to trade market movement. I call it the flow of the market. Now my system comes with 4 gigabytes of training, and you'll get an exact copy of my system on your MT4 platform. Comes with 5 MT4 templates, 10 custom indicators, and of course my favorite meter. Now it does come with a lot of PDF books, a lot of Word documents, and this is what you're going to need to succeed, a lot of education. Now, due to the fact that there's a lot of ways to trade, I do teach a lot of ways to trade. That's why there's 42 training videos, and I threw in 9 bonus videos. I'm only going to touch on the very first one here, a great way to trade. As I said earlier, perfect example, very high success rate, more than 90% for me, because I do know how to trade the flow of the market. Now you can put this video on pause as it's running a little bit longer than I'd like. And if you have any questions, just pick up the phone and call me. If you live too far, just send me an email. There's an underscore right here. I do prefer Skype. Made it easy. Click on this link. We'll have a Skype connection, and through Skype screen sharing, I'll give you a free session. Remember, no obligation. And if not, I'll give you some free tips and tricks that should help your trading. Now, if you click on this link right here, you will see 32 screenshots of different trigger systems that I've been building over many years. So it's time to wrap up this video, and I'll repeat it again. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. So until the next trade, happy trading, and remember to keep yourself and your family safe. Okay, bye for now.